When you put on that jersey, the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Get that through your head. Welcome in to the Bro Force Squad podcast, where we're just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. This is episode 112, and a very special one it is. I'm your host, the Mayor, Jeff Hornacek. And before we get into the movie discussion tonight, we need to do what we always do first, and that's go around and meet my fellow bros. First, we go into the lab, as always, to the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Banner, I watched a movie this week where clowns from outer space come to Earth and start murdering people. And I just have to ask, scientifically, is that possible?
It's not only possible, but it's happened before. That's how you think the Vietnam War started.
I was hoping you would just say probable, not that it's literally happened in our past. Are you calling the Vietnamese military a bunch of clowns?
No, it's the American that are clowns. Have you never seen an action movie?
Isn't that one of Geiger's action movie bingo tropes, making our military and police look weak? Is like a free space in there.
That's a free space.
All right, next we go to our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger. Geiger, in the same tone as what I just asked Banner, I also watched a movie this week where Kurt Russell's wife goes missing and he has to deal with some tough to reason with truckers. So I have to ask, as our enforcer, have you ever fought someone at a truck stop? And if so, what advice can you give me if this ever happens to me?
Yeah, man, truck stops typically have great food and great coffee, and also a lot of toothless guys doing meth. One guy said he paid for my tab. He didn't. We went out and fought, but then we just did some meth and we kind of forgot who we even were, what planet we were on. So we didn't fight then, but we fought later whenever he banged my girlfriend.
I'm surprised, considering he did meth, that he didn't just end up marrying Joe Exotic.
We weren't good enough to have Joe Exotic. Let's just put it that way. We wish.
Typically how that story ends.
You weren't straight enough.
Well, you ain't that straight. That's one of my favorite memes ever. I wanted to text one to Thurman that said, hit 14 out of 15 fairways today. And it's Joe Exotic say, well, you ain't that straight.
Yeah, if nothing else, that show has given us memes that will last for our grandkids
forever.
All right, if you have not listened to our show before, we start every episode off with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chest day. And today our chest day, as you are listening to this, we are fairly close to, or depending if you didn't listen to it on the day it dropped, to Star Wars Day, which is May the 4th. Now, obviously, we are massive Star Wars fans on this podcast. Check out all of our movie commentaries on all the Star Wars movies and our reviews. But today we have to go back to a galaxy far, far away, and we are doing our first one of these. It is a brospective, and it is a draft of all the Star Wars characters from the theatrically released movies. So basically, the three of us are going to go through in snake order, meaning if one person picks last in the first round, they pick first in the second round. And we are going to draft all of the characters from the live-action Star Wars. That'll be the prequels, the original trilogy, the new trilogy, and the anthology films. And we are each going to build a team of 5. Now, 2 clarifications, Banner, correct me if I'm wrong here, we want to make. If you draft Obi-Wan in this draft, you get Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness. Is that correct? That
is correct. I don't think Alec Guinness has a big enough sample size to be his own character, so we decided to lump them in together.
From a certain point of view. And then Banner, what did we decide with Anakin? How we were going to handle him versus Vader?
I think Vader is his own person, and then Anakin, I think we go prequel Anakin. Yeah, so you get Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen.
But you can choose who you want to start in your lineup.
Yes, I think if you take Anakin, you have I don't want to say 6th man of the year because he's probably a 7th man of the year.
Well, if it's a prison league, Jake Lloyd's already in prison, so it's like...
Oh, yeah, he's starting point guard.
Inherent advantage. Now, if you're asking, okay, what are they trying to draft their team based around? That's the Bro Force Squad, though that's the way we do things. There is
Great question. Great question.
Yeah. We're just trying to build the best and coolest and most defensible fucking team of 5 Star Wars characters that we can. So... if we make a pick, we're not saying that one team could beat up the other team or is in more screen time than the others. We're just trying to pick the best team of 5 to where we think, hey, these are the coolest or my favorite characters, and we can defend it. Basically, if you have been a fan of Star Wars for the past 50 years, we're probably going to touch on someone that you appreciate or hate. So, all right, Geiger, we randomly drew, and you actually have the first pick in this draft. So why don't you tell us who you're picking, and then this has to be the case with all these. You have to defend your pick and at least be willing to field a question or two from the other bros. Geiger, we'll start the draft with you.
I'm not ready to pick. Maybe if you do it in the David Stern voice, then I will.
With the first pick in the third Brospective Star Wars character draft, Matt Geiger selects
Anakin Skywalker. Yeah.
You cut out
you guys look
Anakin
at me like,
Skywalker, right?
Anakin Skywalker.
Okay.
And this is why. So the best athlete on your team has a lot of traits. For one, this kid was the chosen one. They looked at him and was like, man, he's got a lot of fucking talent. He has a mother, doesn't know who his father is. Sounds like a great athlete already. He basically fucking meets a chick that's 10 years older than him, has a crush on her. A movie later bangs her. A movie later gets her pregnant and then doesn't take care of the kids, just goes to the fucking other team. Sounds like LeBron. And then becomes the best on the other team too. Not only did he thrive as a Jedi, and I know I can't pick Vader or what he did there. I'm picking Anakin right now. Whenever the going got tough, he got going, which I fucking dig it, man. He doesn't know who his dad is. His mom's cool. He fucking could pod race as a kid. He built R2, was one of the greatest Jedis in the galaxy, banged fucking Natalie Portman, got her pregnant, left, and then became one of the greatest Sith. Anakin, number one. And also my hero.
Look, I want to disagree with you, but I don't. He's powerful. He's passionate. He does whatever it takes for him to succeed. I can't argue with that. True leader.
Let's just hope you don't have an away game anywhere where there's sand, because it's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
Don't worry. I'll have to get a Rodman for that or something. I'll just wait.
All right, I'm picking second, and I'm going to pick – I can't believe this guy's still here with the second pick. We might be looking at a Sam Bowie, Michael Jordan situation. This guy is the godfather of the podcast. Him and Patrick Swayze are our two idols. Just alone for his no. He's the greatest Pro Force Squad quote producer of all time. And I'm going to pick, and Boehner, I already know what your fucking rebuttal's going to be, but Emperor Palpatine with the second pick of the Star Wars character draft.
I feel like I have to speak for Cycly, but he's a clone. I don't understand.
Are you going
Not always.
Palpatine,
Only in the last one.
I guess yeah. It's a bad pick. Bad pick.
All right, that just sounds like someone that's.
This is like an Anthony Burnett situation.
You mean
pick
Bennett?
him first. Yeah, whatever the fuck is that? You just proved my point.
Anthony Bennett. He went to UNLV. Show some fucking respect or turn off your mic.
I don't know. I feel lucky that he fell to me at number 2. I might even take him when he's.
You needed a Sith. I mean, it fell right to him.
Boehner's just mad because every time we watch the prequels, he's like, God, I feel like the Viceroys and I have so much in common, and those dudes got fucking played.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
He can't do that. I'm just saying. I mean, we never said we were playing playground rules. That's all I have to say about that. All right. The third pick, my first round pick, I'm going Vader. Wait, hold on. Before I pick Vader, this is a snake draft, right? So I get 2 picks in a row?
You get 2 in a row, but you have to defend them separately.
Yeah.
Okay. Pick number 1 for me, Vader. Look, he's powerful. He's loyal. Again, he does whatever he has to do to make it ahead. And he doesn't care. He killed your stupid clone, Palpatine. So I
come back always. So it's like, and it's not a fight. We already said that. I manipulated you your whole life, bro. You're like baking me cookies in the kitchen.
No, not my whole life. Just part of my life. And how do you know I wasn't just baiting you into it? I am now Vader.
What a good showing for the Sith. I mean, the top 3 picks, all members of the Sith.
Jeff, I'm already having a post-draft mortem because I'm thinking like anytime Disney fucks up, they just bring back Jeff's picks, which has been a lot lately. But oh well, I guess I'll just put my trust in Disney to make a good film, maybe.
Matt's already in the war room. He's like, we need to, like, this is when you and I had that Madden franchise. Like,
yeah.
We need to make a fucking splash. It's like, why? You went to the Super Bowl last. All right, Banner, you're up again.
All right, next. Look, guys, I need somebody that is going to know when to cut bait, when to run, and when to fight. So with my second pick, I am going to pick Han Solo.
Wow.
Smooth talking, and again, he knows when to fight and he knows when to shoot and take action. He's always calm under pressure. I need a sharpshooter like that.
He's going to fuck all of our team's wives also.
Obviously. Look, I play the mental warfare game, okay? And I'm winning.
Han Solo, not surprised he's an early second-round pick. He's going to end up being like Russell Wilson. Like, how did he fall that far?
If Han Solo fucked all of our wives, who'd be happier, them or us drinking beer talking about it?
Us, definitely. They'd be like, it was just a one-time thing. Like, I don't know, call him up. See,
are you sure?
How did you leave things with him?
He's like, really? Do you have his number? Maybe you could fuck my wife too. I'm like, yeah, maybe. I mean, he seemed pretty cool.
All right, I'm up here for. Banner, you're fixing the bracket or the thing for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
My special. All right, second pick in the second round here for me. Damn, this is a tough one. You know what I'm going to go with? Let's just keep the Sith trend going. I'm going to go with Darth Maul.
Wow.
Ooh, too early.
You might say it's a bit of a reach, but guys, we worked him out at his pro day, and this guy checks all the fucking boxes. Todd, got an excellent motor, got the double-edged lightsaber, really, even going to flank lasers, not easily beaten in battle. Darth Maul, a guy who we all thought was taken from us too soon, and again, we're not counting what happens in the Clone Wars or Rebels in this, and he did a lot of badass stuff there, which would only help his stock in this. But I know that if I wait another round, especially with Geiger getting 2 picks, he's not going to be on the fucking board. So this is a bit of a reach, probably. But, I mean, now I got Palpatine and Darth Maul. Like, Jesus, let's go. Geiger, you're up twice.
All right. Well, Yoda's on the board. But you know what? I got young Jake Lloyd. I got a young Anakin. He's going to get beat up. I need some height. I need a fucking enforcer. So I'm going Chewbacca here. Native Texan, my boy, and I think
Chewbacca
one in the same, Jeff. One in the same, and we all know Wookiees are from like Galveston. Anyway, look at what he did with Han. Imagine what he could do with a young Anakin. Anakin needs someone that he knows that'll be there, not Obi-Wan, who is his friend but is blinded by the fucking disgusting Jedi always right shit. Cyclists standing up and applauding right now. Like, yes, they think they're too good. They are. He needs somebody that's his ride or die fucking bro. So I'm picking Chewie along with my first pick, Anakin, and I get another pick. And
hold on, I got a question about Chewie.
Yeah,
how are you going to deal with the drug problems in the locker room?
Medicinal.
Vader, that was in college, and that chick he was with, that was in college too. He hasn't done anything since he's been with our program, so I don't see the fucking problem.
Can you at least calm our fears by saying you'll conduct an internal investigation?
Jerry Jones, we have programs in place to deal with these type of players. Okay, don't worry about it.
All right.
Chewie's like, I could see him, like he's got his little belt on over his shoulder. He gets the phone call. He starts crying in Wookiee, hugging his mom and dad. He's going to the Geigers, and it's a good spot for him, I think. You get to pick again.
So my first pick was a kid that might be a god. My second pick was a Wookiee, but still that doesn't satisfy the Rooney Rule. So I'm gonna go with Mace Windu, just because it's fucking Samuel Jackson. He's got a fucking purple lightsaber. I think he's got a little Sith in him. So once again, man, I'm almost like going the bad boy Pistons. I got my point guard, I got my star and Isaiah Thomas and Anakin. Now I'm just building the forces around him to make sure we don't put up no shit. So I got fucking Chewbacca and I got Mace Windu.
Damn, it's pretty good. I mean, I have the guy who killed you, but that's fun. Now Mace Windu in this league is allowed to say motherfucking. We all agree, right?
Yeah, I think that's a given.
So that triples his power. in that case. All right, I'm up again. Second pick of the third round here. This is the back half of the draft. I think this is going to end up being a steal for me to kind of make up for that Maul reach. This is a person who showed incredible power with the Force, led an entire trilogy, and she's not rough on the eyes. I'm going to take Rey, and I'm not going to say Rey Skywalker because I don't like that.
We don't believe in that.
But I reunite her with her grandfather, apparently. So we got a family. It's like when Griffey Sr. and Griffey Jr. hit back-to-back home runs. So I get Rey Skywalker or Rey in the third round of this draft. I mean, that's something that I think my fans right now on Twitter are fucking pumped about, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, sure. It does make sense. They have chemistry. Even though forced by Disney, it is chemistry. And it would be interesting to see.
I think with your next round pick, you have to pick Ben Solo, right? Kylo Ren. I mean, it's just natural. So I think you're a little predictable at this point.
So we all know Darth Maul's a little bit injury prone, right? He got fucking sliced in half. Now I have someone on my team who can force heal him. So we're looking at just 5 Cal Ripkins. All these guys will make all their scheduled starts throughout the year.
I guess.
All right, Banner. Back-to-back picks to end the third and then start the fourth round.
So let me pull up my notes here. I've done a lot of scouting, so
I saw that was weird.
Yeah, I feel like by default, I don't want to. I'm not happy about this because he's a whiny little bitch. But obviously we're the Tachi pod racing team, so I have to go Luke here. I have to.
Yes.
Wow.
You have to.
I mean, you have to. I don't want
for
to.
a reason.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I have to. I feel like Han is the only person that can keep Luke in check, and we already got Han, so I think it's safe to bring Luke on now. And if not, Vader will just be like, "Look, man, I'm your dad, and you have to do what I say, because that's what dads do."
But you know that your third round pick sucks milk out of the tit of a sea manatee.
Hey, he's healthy. I don't understand the problem.
Don't question our.
It was Tuesday night. Half off drinks naps, Jeff. What do you expect?
Yeah, come on.
Party sometimes.
All right. I mean, he does have a great Force lineage, but he might just end up being like Seth Curry. We don't know.
And I'm just keeping it in the family,
Player.
He's got his dad and his brother-in-law on the team. It's a family affair.
Yeah, if they can't get the most out of him, then no one can.
No one can. I mean, but again, I take it with a grain of salt because he is a whiny bitch sometimes. We all know that.
All right. Well, you're up again, so second to last pick for you here. What do you think you need right now? So
I know that's what I'm looking at.
Vader, Han Solo, and Luke right now is Banner's team.
On the clock. Oh yeah, we should probably rename our team, huh?
Yeah. When we each pick, we'll say them back. So you have Vader, Han Solo, and Luke. So, obviously you have the Force sensitivity with the 2 Skywalkers. Han Solo gives you a nice change of pace. I feel like
Solo.
Beg your pardon. And also he wears a vest, so that's a big. I know Banner's looking at that third column right now. Like, is it too much of a reach right now to grab any of these guys? I'm looking at Babu Frick still on the board. Sebulba.
See, the thing about Babu Frick is he can probably defuse a bomb, right?
How'd Sebulba fall? Was it just because of that rape claim?
That's been uninvestigated. That's why he's dropping. Also, K2SO, I think, is a sneaky nice pick here, too.
I think.
Well, Snoke would have been a first-round pick, but there was a video of him smoking weed in college that just fucking surfaced.
Him and Laramie Tunsil were just trading the gas mask back.
So what I really need,
so white and wrinkly.
Guys, I need some attitude on my team. I need somebody that is going to speak their mind always and not give a shit. And I feel like I have the other players that can back him up on this. So I'm going to go R2-D2 here.
Nice.
Okay.
He's always going to give you some lip, whether you want it or not. He's going to give it to you, and that's what I need. I need some trash talk in here.
Yeah, if we've learned anything from the Bulls documentary, The Last Dance, check out a review on that. It's that no matter how talented your team is, you need somebody that does the dirty work.
And I feel like R2 can do that. I mean, he's a survivor. you know?
And it looks like you already have Luke, so you know that people on your team can communicate with him.
It's called chemistry, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on.
All
Your
right.
team doesn't have that, obviously.
I have Palpatine, Darth Maul, and then Palpatine's granddaughter, so I'm not too worried about
Her name's Rey, and she was the star of the new ones. But yeah, okay, go ahead, Jeff.
All right, man. You know what? I think I need somebody that's going to get a little nasty in the paint too. But I need a guy that shows up every time we face an opponent in whatever the fuck it is, and he has zero interest in what the sport is actually about and just wants to get in your head and trick you. So this is a reach. This guy should be taken in the last round, but fuck it, I don't care. I'm going to take Watto. Hey! I'm under the team.
So I was going back and forth between R2 and Watto. Watto he's a master negotiator. The only reason that he didn't get Anakin or that we didn't go Anakin or his mother is because Qui-Gon cheated. Let's all be honest.
Sure. And I have the guy right now who enslaved the most powerful Jedi in history. So look, and if we need anybody to run our finances, we know that this guy knows how to keep the IRS out of our fucking hair. So Watto, probably a reach in the 4th round. So now my team is Palpatine, Darth Maul, Rey, and then of course Watto fits in.
Is he going to be a locker room fit? I mean, that would be my only concern.
We'll figure. Well, Rey is changing in her own locker room in and of itself, obviously. So I'm just not. I'm not really.
You don't have gender neutral locker rooms. What the fuck year are you in?
No, we play our home games.
This was apparently a long time ago. What the fuck?
All right, Geiger, you got 2 picks back to back.
All right.
Actually, so this will be your. First off, tell them who's on your team.
Yeah, I got Anakin. I got the Wookiee, and I have Mace Windu. So Anakin's starting to turn. He's getting a little older, Jeff, and he's starting to turn to the Sith.
Matt, real quick, Anakin and Mace Windu do not get along historically. How are you going to manage those personalities?
See, this is what I'm going to do. Like, they're clashing. Anakin's kind of turned into Baker Mayfield. He had a good first year, and now we're not quite sure. So we need to bring someone to bring balance. So I'm gonna get Qui-Gon Jinn because he has passed with both of these players, Mace Windu, and he has passed with Anakin. And I think he could be like kind of an old offensive coordinator that you bring in because he's kind of like a Norv Turner, Jeff. He was good once
He's
in the
been
90s.
with 7 other teams.
So why couldn't he be good in like 2020? That's basically like our thing right now. We're going to basically do anything just to keep the press off our ass. Like, and Qui-Gon's going to have a press conference like, yeah, I know Mace and Anakin really well. I think I know how to, bend this relationship and get them to work well together.
I am very close with Mace and Anakin.
Now, on top of that, once again, so we got Qui-Gon, who's old school, but we got to go little new school, Jeff. This isn't the fucking 80s anymore. Quarterbacks don't call their own plays. Managers, I know. Managers don't manage from the fucking bench anymore in baseball. It's all analytics. It's all computers. So I'm picking BB-8 to fucking give me some analytics and some fucking numbers for this shit.
That's smart.
So we got an enforcer in Chewbacca. We got a star in Anakin. We got a nice role player in Mace Windu. We got a great coach in Qui-Gon Jinn who knows all these people and knows the balance of the Force. And we got a computer to give us stats in certain situations. You got to know when to fucking go and know when to slow. And that's my team.
All right, so Matt, your final team is Anakin Skywalker, Chewbacca, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, and BB-8. I think that's BB-8 was a needed balance there at the end. I think that was.
Geiger, I love your team up except for the Qui-Gon pick. Qui-Gon and Mace Windu don't get along either. They've got some history. Now maybe they could put it behind them, but they've got some history. Obi-Wan would have been the better glue in that situation.
If you wanted to pull back, I just think Qui-Gon, because obviously he turns on Obi-Wan. So maybe he won't turn on Qui-Gon. Because Qui-Gon was more questioning the Force. So I think he could have found middle ground with Anakin.
Yeah,
I disagree.
let's be honest. If Qui-Gon were alive one more movie, him and Mace Windu would have really been button heads.
That's true, but I don't care about Mace. He's my 3rd pick. I'm worried about my 1st overall pick, Anakin Skywalker. And I think the best person, I think if Anakin and Qui-Gon were actually, say Qui-Gon was, around Anakin whenever he turned Sith, Qui-Gon was in the middle ground, man. He was actually kind of leaning Sith and kind of saying, dude, the Jedi, a lot of the shit we do is not fucking right. And I think him and Anakin would have just pulled and basically made their own society. Not Sith, not Jedi, somewhere in the middle. And that's the kind of guy I need. Mace will fall in line. And if not, we'll franchise him.
That's true. I not only agree with you about your Qui-Gon theory, but now it really makes me want to have seen a movie where that happened. Or he was just around a little bit longer to, like, bounce ideas off Anakin. Like, the Jedi are fucked up, right? They're dickheads.
Vander, my biggest thing that keeps me up at night is that if Qui-Gon's daughter gets stolen, then my team's fucked. Because he's just going to deal with that.
It's an Achilles heel, man. It's true. Hopefully it doesn't happen in the finals.
Let's hope no one here drafts Marco from Tripoya, because that dude's fucking dead.
Yeah, shit.
Marco from Tripoya. All right. Guys, I'll be honest here. This last pick, I feel like I have a really strong front four. This is pure marketing, okay? And that's because all you're going to see from the Horns team are shirts, bumper stickers, and the hashtag, "It's a trap!" So I'm going with my man, King of Leadership, Catfish himself, Admiral Ackbar, with my last pick. Now, for those of you at home, this will round my team out with Palpatine, Darth Maul, Rey, and then Watto and Admiral Ackbar. So those last two guys at the end are like quintessential role players on any championship team. I feel like I went straight up talent with the first three picks, and then I was able to polish my team off. Again, we have a guy who can hustle you. And then Admiral Ackbar, Banner, just with his respect and connections in the rebellion, I feel like can get a lot done for me that will go without being said.
Look, he's the guy that's going to call out picks. Mm-hmm. And we all need him. He's going to call out picks and take charge.
Screen!
I can't disagree with the pick in this situation. I think you needed him. Now I'm a little worried. I'm just a little worried. I mean, you've got a lot of family feuding that could happen here. You've got Rey and Palpatine, obviously granddaughter and grandfather. Every day, are they going to butt heads? And then now you got Palpatine and Maul. Is Maul going to be feel like he's second ring to Rey?
Second or third wheel, Jeff. Yeah. Who's the second player for you?
That's
Maul
what
and
I'm
Rey
saying.
Are gonna have it out.
They're going to have some battles.
Maul is like the chick in college who wants to fuck her professor, right? He just has googly eyes for Palpatine. We're good there.
Like they used to say about Terrell Owens and Chad Ochocinco when they're both on the Bengals, there's only one ball that you play with. There's not like two or three balls you can play.
My thing with Rey and then Emperor Palpatine, guys, families fight. You know what I'm saying? All I care about is when we step in between the white lines, do we get our jobs done? And I know this about Rey. Palpatine may be a little bit petty. No. Rey is a professional, so this team will not have any issues getting the job done at the end of the day. And also, if you try and trap us on defense, guess who's going to fucking call that out on my team? Admiral Ackbar. You nailed it.
Wow.
Try and trap me in the corner.
Future defensive player of the year. Banner, who's your last pick? And then we got to say who's left on the board.
All right. So, guys, I've got my heavy hitter in Vader. I've got my number 2, even though he's my third round pick, in Luke. Look, he's strong. He's kind of tough-minded, but he's kind of a bitch. So we've got Han there to keep him going.
You got him in the third round. That's a great value.
It's a great fucking team. Vader,
you've got
Luke,
Han Solo. He's going to be your leader. He's going to be able to keep Luke in check. You got R2-D2. He's your shit talker. That's his sole purpose.
I'm kind of worried I'm the only one without a droid, although Admiral Ackbar can fill some of that.
You're old school, Jeff. Me and Banner with a computer.
And I need some glue here, right? I need somebody that's going to be able to empathize with everybody and is everybody's best friend. So I think I got to go Maz Kanata here.
Wow. Smart.
Her and Han have history, right? She is very, very up to date with Luke and what's happened with him. And she obviously knows about Vader and his past. She's going to be able to bring the best out of everybody.
Coach on the field.
Yeah. Look, she was a coach's son. First one in, last one to leave.
Very true. All right, Geiger, do you want to go over some of the notable names still left on the board? I will say this before you get to that. K2SO from Rogue One was really close to being my last pick because I needed a droid, and he gives me a nice combination of being a smartass and intelligence. I'll tell you this: he's an undrafted free agent. He's definitely getting an invite to come work out for me.
Well, what about Yoda? Why'd he slip? Off everyone's draft board.
I think it's age.
It's age. It's got to be.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but he's just he's at the end of his career. He would be a good locker room guy, but
and I can't have Palpatine and Yoda.
Yeah. Like,
and
you'd be like the fucking
thing.
You'd be like the Rockets with Barkley and Olajuwon when they're both 40. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? If Leia didn't fly, would she have been picked?
Yeah, she would have been my third or fourth pick.
I think so. I think she was close, and I almost picked Padme too. I mean, Padme is.
Yeah.
The problem with this is that in this draft we had to exclude the Clone Wars show, and that's where she really shines. So because we had to exclude that, I just couldn't take her.
I mean, Cycly probably has taken all the money out of our bank account because we didn't pick Obi-Wan.
Just for your new empire. It was worth it. I think we all fulfilled our needs with the Force in the first 2 rounds or so. And you look back, you got to balance out your team, right? So he's just a victim of, like, there's too many quarterbacks in this draft, man. You know, it's like,
no one picked Jar Jar because we've got 5,000 subscribers and we don't want to lose 1,000, so I get that. Boba Fett, I'm surprised no one picked him.
I just think Banner, agrees with me. He's just an overrated Star Wars character. I probably would have taken
I'm surprised someone pick Lando or even Poe Dameron. I mean, that'd be kind of a good one. Kylo.
Poe. I went R2D2 instead of Poe. Poe is going to be that shit talker. My problem with Poe is he wants to be the leader. He wants the ball in his hands too much. He's not a team player. So couldn't go with Poe.
But Kylo in the range of Sith, man, I would think everyone's going to pick Darth Maul over Kylo. Then of course everyone's going to pick Vader. Everyone's going to pick Palpatine.
Again, it's too deep with Force users.
I think Kylo, though, he's got some upside there because he's got Sith and he's got dark and light side in him.
Yeah.
So
did either of you guys seriously look at Sebulba, especially as the late rounds came? I know he's had some issues with the law, but especially Geiger's team. I mean, he's basically he's like the Jailblazers over there. If you have talent, he'll deal with it and face the suspension the next year.
It's a copycat league, Jeff. So I was about to pick Snoke just because you picked Palpatine. You know, when teams are like, "This is my Tyreek Hill,"
but he's not.
Yeah, he's fast, but he can't run around and catch. But
here's the thing: if you need a pilot, Sebulba's your man.
That is
unfortunately
true.
None of us really. I mean, really, you have the weakest piloting crew there, Jeff. I mean, Rey's a good pilot.
Banner has the strongest. He has Han, Luke, and Vader. I mean, Anakin is better than Vader because we didn't see Vader really fly too much besides in A New Hope. But yeah, man, Jeff, if we did an air attack, you'd be fucked.
Yeah, although if you did try and set a trap for me, again, my co-pilot, Admiral Ackbar, is going to fucking call the pick out.
Yeah, you would just call out as a trap. And then,
I could see Geiger in the cockpit like, why the fuck can't we trap these guys? I don't understand. You try to, like... And then it cuts to us. To a really cocky Admiral Ackbar, like.
I think we all kind of fucked up here at one point. Boss Nass is still there. Talk about a leader of a certain tree. Okay.
I put him on just because I knew someone would be tempted to draft him just to make the noise.
I hope one person comments on this. They're like, "Why did Chewie fall to round 2?" It's just Stephen A. Smith meme. Stay off the weed.
And then it's Chewie from Banner. What was is it Empire where he's just blazed out of his mind in the cockpit?
Yeah, he has no fucking clue what planet he
doesn't know what system they're in.
Here's another reason I think Yoda didn't get drafted. I mean, there was that small scandal of him allegedly slipping shrooms into everybody's pregame dinner. I mean, I don't know. I think that until he solves that problem, until there's an explanation for that, I think he's going to be... It's going to be tough for him to get picked up. He's like Antonio Brown. He's got great talent. There's just too much baggage.
We only saw him fight once, and Palpatine beat him. So
much baggage he has. Geiger, last thing I got to ask you. General Hux, I know, was on your board. Then all those tweets came out, the racist tweets from him in 2014. At that point, did you just completely cut bait with him, or where was your head at?
Yeah, I just think it's best. We might still invite him to camp, but some of those I can understand that it was a different time and he was born in the South and stuff.
What he said about Gungans was unforgivable.
We can't have that in camp. We have a lot of Gungans that contribute to our team, Jeff, and we can't have that in a fucking locker room.
Matt's like, I have a Wookiee. He was my second round pick. I mean, what you said about how none of them can keep a job is, I can't have that in my locker room. It's not going to work.
And it's just straight up false. I mean, Chewie's been a drug dealer for 90% of his life. That to me, he's collecting a pension now.
Yeah, I'm sorry he has tax-free income.
And I was also going to do Jango Fett, but she had a tweet when she was in 3rd grade how Anakin's not that great and she's not the chosen one and a girl's probably going to take his spot. I know it's just a cute thing to say, but I mean, you're going to be playing with Anakin, so you can't do that.
Best part about that, Django's a guy.
He's a man.
Oh, whatever.
Boba's dad.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. Well,
the dude from
but he doesn't necessarily identify as a man. We don't know that.
Now we've gone off the rails. Okay, that is our Star Wars character draft. May the 4th be with you guys. Last thoughts on this. This was fun. We can do this for a ton of things. Movie franchises, actors. Like I've seen a podcast do like best Will Ferrell characters in a draft. I think this has potential. Geiger, what are your thoughts on either team or the idea?
I love it. And I love that there's no criteria, so we can just make up how we want to draft it as we go. Obviously, we kind of did this like an NFL style, but yeah, dude, I mean, you can do it like the 5 people you want to party with or however you want to do this. This is awesome.
You're only wrong if you can't defend your picks.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way you're wrong. Banner, what are your thoughts?
5 people we want to party with. Obviously, Chewie, Yoda. Probably gonna go Babu Frick for obvious reasons. Probably gonna go Padme because she's kind of a slut. And
H2SO, throw him in there. I bet he could be a bartender for us. Maybe.
Yeah, but honestly, I think I'm gonna go Count Dooku. The stories that man probably has.
And then I told the Jedi.
You wouldn't want just a nice night around the fire watching the snow go down and have Palpatine tell you the story about Darth Plagueis the Wise while he's sipping on like fucking rum or scotch.
He'd have a nice brandy.
And even though he's told us the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise 10 times, whenever he asks, we're like, no, tell it again.
He has a pocket watch. It's like, oh my goodness, it's 9:30. We must go to bed.
All right, one more parsec, and then I'll tell the story.
I never do this. Seriously,
God.
Ask Carolyn. I never do.
One more death stick. It won't kill us. All right, on to the second part of our show, which is our protein shake, where we
I
go
got like
around
3 things. I gotta pee.
Talk about. Damn it, I have to pee too. Where we talk about what's in our cup, also known as what have we watched lately. Now we are going to save. We've all seen Extraction on Netflix.
Yes.
We're going to save that, I think, for the end, right? Because that's the one thing we've probably all watched together. Geiger, how many things have you seen?
3.
Okay, I have 10, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are for the pod, so I'm just going to briefly gloss over those, and then I'll toss it to you. So I watched the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space from 1988, which is on Netflix. I bring this up because we did a movie commentary on it where we watched the movie along with you. So I won't talk about it here, but go on Apple Podcasts or YouTube and check that out. It is everything you would fucking hope for, both the movie and our commentary. It lives up to the name. We all also watched the Last Dance documentary, episodes 3 and 4. And Geiger is a huge fan of the Bad Boy Pistons. Do you want to give him a little tease to go check out our review on this one?
I wasn't listening because I was looking up my shit. But yeah, you should go check out our review on The Last Dance because I think that's what you were talking about.
That is what I was talking about. It's
awesome.
If you're watching the documentary and you're listening to this podcast, you know it's just fucking great television. Like footage that we haven't seen from a team that we all know a lot about. It's just awesome. Another movie commentary that we did on an all-time classic, and I can't believe it took this long, Three Ninjas.
God, that was awesome.
Yeah. So this one is going to drop May 8th. So depending when you're listening to this, it might already be on YouTube or Apple Podcasts. But if it's not, get ready for that. The great thing about this one is it is free on YouTube, the movie. And in our movie commentary, if you watch it on YouTube, I actually linked where you can find the actual movie in the description. So you can tab out the movie in one tab, mute that, listen to us in the other. It's just a fucking blast. As kids of the 90s, this movie just epitomizes, as kids, how we thought if we just knew karate, we could beat the shit out of any adult. And then the last thing I watched before my real list, and I'll turn it over to Geiger after this, Back to the Future. This was a movie that we did a commentary on about 2 years ago. And Geiger, do you want to tell people why it has been buried underground?
It was a Bro Force Squad weekend, which is when we all get together and drink a ton and do a ton of movie commentaries for you and the fans.
Last movie of the commentary or of the weekend. Me and
Banner started at 9 a.m. We had an IPA breakfast. We had 8 delicious IPAs, did 3 movie commentaries. Then Jeff came. Me and Banner had more domestic lights. Jeff drank with us. We went to a soccer game. Ronnie Cycli ate edibles, decided not to talk during the whole movie commentary. Banner is so drunk halfway through, asked us, is this the first one, right? And
an hour, 4 minutes in, Banner asks, is this the first Back to the Future?
Like, literally, I know a bunch of people. I know, like, Henrik and people will be like, dude, just release it. You got to release the Snyder Cut. I'm like, dude, you do not want to hear it. It's not funny. People think the drunker we are, the funnier we are. That's not true. It gets sloppy. It's not as fun.
There's a bell curve. Henrik is the only person I would send that audio to.
And even then, I can't. I don't feel like we can put Henrik through that misery.
I'd send it to Holy Bud.
Yeah, I'd send it to Holy Bud. If you skip ahead to like the 1 hour 15-minute mark, I remember doing it just to test, like, what the fuck does this sound like an hour 10 minutes in? And it's just a bunch of like, wow, like everyone is just.
There was 8 conversations going on, and there was only 4 of us. So you do the math.
And Banner, your daughter was like a newborn at that point, or was she not quite?
No, she was still in the womb. Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised she didn't hear that and was like, okay, well, I'm awake now. Let's just give birth. Like, all right, Back to the Future commentary. That one drops actually May 1st. That's on Netflix. So by the time you're listening to this, go check it out. And this is not hyperbole. Matt can testify to this. It's my favorite movie of all time. And we basically spend the whole commentary gushing about the film and then have some really hilarious takes on, at least I think I'm a little self-absorbed, on whether it would be cool to remake it.
And check out, you guys did a review on this as well, right? Which is already dropped.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Banner. Yeah, our Geiger and I did a quick review on it. Again, it's just an all-time classic. If you've seen it, you probably know how great it is and how much it means to film and pop culture. So
I'm gonna just real quick, if you don't mind, Jeff, since I wasn't on the review, I echo everything you guys said on there. The one thing I want to add, you guys talked about how this movie crosses generations. I think it's very important to point out here that it doesn't matter what generation you're from, you're going to get something out of this. And it doesn't matter what generations were in the movie, whether they go from the 80s to the 50s to the 2000s, or you do the 90s and the 70s and the 2030s. It doesn't matter. It's a lot like that 70s show. It just happens to be placed in that time frame, but it doesn't have to be. And I think that's part of the genius of that movie.
Yeah, it's the concept of if you could meet your parents in high school, what would that be like? Would you enjoy it? Would it be awkward? Would it be weird? Would you even like them? Would you like them too much and be like, fuck, now my dad's cool? Because like everybody gets lame at some point. I'm already there. But
would your mom be Leah Thompson?
Right, which would be problematic. All right, Geiger, what is in your cup? Saving Extraction for the end. What have you watched lately?
Yeah, so I've been watching Ozarks because behind the curtain, Kevin L. Johnson from Ozarks is going to be coming on the pod next week to do an exclusive interview. So stay tuned for that for our episode. But man, Ozark trending number 7 on Netflix right now. When the 3rd season dropped, is trending number 1. Great fucking show. I hate to give a description of a show. I more like saying, if you like this, you'll like that, because we're all Amazon kids. If you like Blow, if you like Breaking Bad, if you like Wolf of Wall Street, it's got some dark humor in it, you'll fucking dig this show. And Jason Bateman, man, I didn't know he directed this. It's not the first thing he directed, but he does a fucking fantastic job, and it is a very good show. And the next season is better than the last season, which can't be said for a lot of shows. And then the one thing I will say to fucking pump this show is after episode 1, you're in. I hate when people say, "Yo, Geiger, you got to watch this show, man. Give it 5 or 6 episodes." I'm like, I don't have time to give it 5 or 6 episodes. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have HBO, and I got fucking illegal shit I can get. If you got to fucking take 6 hours of my time to get me in, you're fucking done, man. This season gets you in from episode 1. Second thing, I still have cable because I'm a loser. So on demand, I watched The Patriot. Vader, this is a great fucking movie. I haven't seen this movie. Remember when Mel Gibson was like, "Oh shit, he's a great actor, and I think he's a pretty normal guy." Remember when that year was?
Yeah,
in our timeline.
It was like, what year did that come out? Like 2003?
No, it wasn't 93. It was like 98. I wouldn't
98?
even say it was 2000. He didn't go crazy till like 2005.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this was like 2003, right? Because it was right before you went crazy.
Yeah, it was like 2003, and Heath Ledger, fantastic in it.
God, so
Mel
great.
Gibson, well, and every time I watch a movie, I do a commentary on it. But he makes, I don't know if you remember the scene, but he makes this rocking chair and he gets pissed because it breaks and throws it. I was like, man, where did Mel Gibson have to go to like be so fucking crazy and pissed off? Like, that's acting right there. I bet he had to go to a deep place if I can get to that place. But it is a fantastic fucking movie, especially about the Revolutionary War. We got some good movies about the Civil War, not too many about the Revolutionary War, but it kind of shows you how, obviously, man, not everyone was for the Revolutionary War. Like, hey, man, my life's pretty cool. I know Britain kind of fucks up shit and makes us tax, but I don't really want to go to war with them because they're going to kill my fucking wife and kids. The last thing I'm going to pump. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I think The Patriot is one of those rare movies that gives us pretty good history about an event, but puts a fictitious story around it that is completely viable. And if you didn't know it wasn't true, you would say it was true.
The one thing I'll say about this scene, and I'm going to sound like an idiot probably saying this. Obviously, I know the flag, "Don't tread on me" with the snake. I've seen that flag. I understand what it means. I didn't know this was around during the Revolutionary War times. I didn't know that's where it started. I had no clue.
I didn't know.
I thought that was like a military type flag, but I think it was like the third scene. Whenever you go to this town, they have a "Don't tread on me" flag, which was weird. I was like, I didn't know this was a Revolutionary War thing. I thought this was come up maybe during Vietnam or something like that. That's not the main thing I took away from the movie, but it was some like very interesting thing. The last thing I'm going to talk about. So with the whole coronavirus pandemic going around, and we don't get political on here. I don't want to get political, but a lot of people are pumping when you go to the comment section. You got to see Out of the Shadows. You got to see Out of the Shadows. So I watched Out of the Shadows.
Yeah, what
on
is
Netflix.
that? I've seen that name.
Yeah, see, I saw it a bunch, Jeff, just because, man, if you're not watching coronavirus shit on YouTube, you're lying. I mean, it pumps it. I'm just like, oh, I want to watch this just because I want to see if,
Is it a documentary or a real movie?
It's a documentary. And it's about a guy in Hollywood. He's kind of a B-list actor, and basically how basically our government polices Hollywood and says, hey, we want to push this agenda. We want this. Like, even some of our, like younger cartoons and shit, like, we want these people to be the heroes. We want to basically make them think this way, and how the media basically controls everything we watch and everything, which is kind of scary because this is what we always make fun of Nazi Germany for, because they just control the propaganda. I'm not saying I believe this. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's a very interesting thing to watch. If you guys are into it, it's on YouTube right now for fucking free if you want to watch it. But this guy was in Hollywood and saying, like, yeah, like a bunch of our scripts and stuff was basically made by the CIA. Like, the CIA said, no, we got to pump this. We got to pump this. We want Americans to think like this because we're in this situation. It's very fucking interesting. And I mean, honestly, let's not be crazy. It's not too far-fetched to think about, especially the way, like, Elizabeth Banks and a lot of these movies are going right now. just like with Star Wars, what we just talked about with Rey, like pushing the woman agenda, which I'm not saying is wrong. I think young girls do need a role model to look up to, just like when we were young boys, we had like, Wolverine and, Spider-Man to look up to. It is a very interesting watch, though. It makes you think about stuff in a totally different way. However, at the end of the day, you either think one way or you don't. You either follow shit, or you can watch a movie and say, yeah, man, that was awesome. You can listen to Michael Jackson and say, he's a sick fuck, but I like his songs, but I'm not obsessed with him. You can still be that person.
Would you not say that's a theme of this podcast? Is like the artist, their art, but I don't give a fuck about your political views. I mean, even if I agree with them.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'll listen to and they'll be like, I was like, yeah, man, I never intend on meeting him. That sucks if he did that. I don't, I think that sucks. You should never do that, but I like the movie.
You got to keep church and state separate.
Yeah.
So would you agree that the government got the script of Space Jam and they were like, the Monstars can't win?
I think the government is just basically, Space Jam is basically showing us what happened this week, and Tom DeLonge's photos leaked, and there are UFOs around us, so it all connects, really.
So I told you! Tom DeLonge doesn't have to talk. There are aliens sitting in our upper atmosphere. All right, I'll stop. Everyone at home has already stopped the podcast. Anything else, Matt?
If you want to smoke weed and just be like question everything that's around you, watch Out of the Shadows.
I don't suggest it.
This is probably a good time to do it because everyone's on edge. Maybe give it a couple months, hopefully, but it is a very good watch.
Is that all you have? Okay. All right, I got a couple things that I think both of you guys will be interested. First one, Matt, actually Banner 2. Batman Bad Blood from 2016, DC animated movie.
Fantastic.
You seen it? Okay,
yes.
Slip under the cracks for me, Geiger. You gotta fuck with this.
So fucking good.
Nightwing, right?
Okay, it's the whole Bat family together. So it's Batman.
Yeah.
Damian Wayne as Robin. Nightwing comes back. Lucius Fox is it his son or his grandson, Banner?
I don't remember if it's his son or his grandson. I remember watching it when it first came out, and I'm trying to remember.
Okay, I think it's his son. Plays Batwing. And then, actually, not Batgirl, but Batwoman is in it. So it's like the 5 members of the Bat family fighting Talia al Ghul and a pretty cool series of his rogues gallery. And this is one of the darker, DC animation.
Super dark.
They don't fuck around. Like, dudes get stabbed, and I think they say fuck a couple times.
I'm pretty sure this is, I don't think it got an R rating, but it is like a hard PG-13.
Yeah. So basically the plot, not that Matt needs any more selling. So Batman goes missing in the beginning of the movie, and Damian Wayne is training with the League of Shadows with his mom, Talia. He leaves and comes back. Dick comes back. They get Lucius Fox's son to help them, and then Batwoman comes. So basically the 4 of them are looking for Batman. They find him about 2/3 through the movie. No spoilers what's happened. And then this fucking ultimate showdown at the end takes place. This thing's 1 hour and 2 minutes, and I was like this the whole time.
It's a fantastic, and it's a culmination because you have Son of Batman, and then what's the other one? There's one more in between.
Batman. There's Batman vs. Robin, and then there's.
No.
Son of Batman with the Court of Owls. I can't remember.
Court of Owls, yes. So that's the first one is Son of Batman. Then you have Court of Owls. Then you have this. It's a perfect cherry on top for quote unquote a trilogy, if you will.
It's just great. And if you're a Batman purist, there's just so much here. It's fucking awesome.
Jeff, can I say one more thing about Out of the Shadows real quick because my fucking phone wouldn't load when I was trying to find this. So there's one more thing that I thought you guys would find very interesting. But whenever we defeated the Nazis, so the Nazis at Wolfenstein were running all these tests, right, on people. So what do you think we did with all the scientists?
The German scientists?
Yeah, all the Nazi scientists.
Well, we didn't do anything with all of them. We employed a fair amount of them, like Albert Einstein.
We employed them to run their tests on Americans, that was the thing where I was like, okay, I'm kind of scared right now. Whenever, because we're trained
Steve
to
Rogers
hate
was
Nazis.
made, dude.
I know. I was. That was the one thing that I wanted to bring to you guys because I was like, damn, like, wow, okay. Because all these Wolfenstein shit, they were like, that's terrible that Nazis would run tests on people, and we're like, yeah, well, get rid of all these people, but we're gonna hire you. Like, what are these tests you're running? You think you're running us on us? Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, not to be too cynical.
In case you could sleep tonight.
Let's be real. We saved Albert Einstein from Nazi Germany, but would we have done so if he couldn't give us the atomic bomb? Probably not. We're not a political podcast. If you don't like that, we've said it 4% of this episode and 0.0004% of our whole lives. So whatever. All right, I saw the movie Underwater with Kristen Stewart. Banner, you would like this one, man.
Yeah, you texted me and you sold me on it, so I feel like I need to watch it now.
It's fun. It's dark. It's quick. The cast is really good. Kristen Stewart, T.J. Miller's probably last film of his whole life, because even if he gets out of jail, nobody's gonna fucking touch him with a 10-foot pole. Jessica Henwick, Banner from Iron Fist and The Defenders, is in it. She plays Pauline Wayne.
Love her.
Vincent Cassel, who's the French guy in Ocean's 12. He's like the thief that they're chasing the whole time. He's in it. It's really good. I texted Cycly this. It feels like a Cloverfield prequel the whole time. And even in the end, it does. And the creature design is incredible. And I don't know, man. It's just, it gets you right into it. They don't give you any bullshit exposition. I really liked Underwater. And trust me, I went into it fully thinking I would roll my eyes half the movie. And Banner, as a marine biologist, I think you'll especially like it. I'm not saying that because it's crazy accurate, but the movie is definitely set in that world, and it's very close quarters, and like it just feels like a world that you would thrive in if you were in it.
So let me ask you this. Assuming that it's a Cloverfield prequel, how do you explain T.J. Miller being in it and in New York City in the first Cloverfield?
Right.
Is it a stretch, or is it pretty easy to connect the dots?
So it isn't a Cloverfield prequel, but it could be. But the problem is the Cloverfield paradox explains that, like parallel dimensions.
That's true.
So in one dimension, HUD is a marine biologist. In the other, he's a frat guy who's filming Beth's. What's the guy's? Beth and whatever the guy's name is going away party.
Yeah, Jerry. We'll call him Jerry.
Sure, we'll call him Jerry. Nailed it. But Underwater, again, a movie that I did not expect to like and I loved. Banner, I think we should talk about this briefly. Matt, you haven't seen The Scheme yet, have you, on HBO, the college basketball? No. Okay. Do you mind if we spoil a little bit of it?
I've already listened to a review on it, so go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Banner, The Scheme. What's the main guy's name? Christian
Dawkins.
Do you have any thoughts on him, real quick? Is he credible?
Fuck no, he's not credible. No, he is a cutthroat. Will do anything to get ahead. Look, I'm just saying, if he came up for a job interview, I say, yeah, but I'm going to pay you under the table, and if you get caught doing anything, I'm going to pull a Nixon and deny. You want him on your side, but you don't want him part of your team.
I think what's crazy to me, and we could do a whole hour on this, so I think we should wait till Matt sees it to do a review. But it is a little bit nuts how he brings up some great points. I don't think that he's a martyr. I don't think that he's some victim in all this. No. There were rules in place. He took advantage of them, and he admits he stole these people's money, whether they were undercover FBI agents or not. You were embezzling their money. Like, that's fact. But the NCAA is maybe pound for pound the most corrupt, profitable organization in this country. They are listed as a nonprofit. They don't pay taxes, and their net profit every year is close to $1 billion. So that inherently shows you, all right, whatever these guys are doing, their model can't be legitimate. Like, it's just not possible for a company. But I think the biggest loser in all of this is the student athletes, because Christian Dawkins basically says, look, we get it. Unless you're a lottery pick, which is like you're one of the top 15 people in the whole world. And yes, I say world because Banner, you and Geiger, you too, you know how many Europeans are drafted in the lottery every year? A ton. So if you're not one of the top 16 players in the world, you're basically not making money until your second contract, which most of these guys don't make. So they have to cash in then. And so I do kind of feel bad for those guys. I just think the problem with this documentary, they have so much ground to stand on and such a strong case. To put it behind someone like Christian Dawkins just delegitimizes it, because he may be right, but he's a shitbag, right?
I think he had good intentions, and he went about things horribly, horribly wrong. The thing about this and his whole plea, first off, I think we need to set up that this documentary is 100% from his point of view. Yeah. We don't get anything of the
That's
other
why I
side.
agree to do it.
We only get what's, we'll say, public record from the court documents, really, or from firsthand account from the lawyer or Christian Dawkins. We get very, very, very little from the actual investigative side. There was so much more going on than what they showed in the show. And even what they showed in the show, they're saying these FBI agents are pushing, hey, let's pay the coaches, trying to bait him into this. He could have said, no, that's not how we're going to do it, because this is the way to do it to not get caught. At any point in time, he could have done that, and he didn't. And that shows just bottom feeder he really is. Again, I think that at the end of the day, his morality and his view on student athletes not getting paid is maybe a noble one. I don't know. I'm not in a position to really say.
Let's not act like he's not in this he's not Robin Hood.
No, he is not in this to give these kids a better life. He is clearly in this to make money for himself.
That's fine.
And that's fine. But
the documentary
embrace the villainous.
Sure. Is he currently in jail? Do we know?
I don't know.
I think he was, but he's let out for coronavirus.
Got it. Anything else to say about that, Banner? I have just two more things for you.
That's all I had to say on that.
I saw a movie from 1997 that I highly recommend. It's called Breakdown with Kurt Russell. And it's basically him. Again, 1997 Kurt Russell. Do I need to say any more? Matt, his fucking hair alone. He's fucked all of our wives.
That was even before 3,000 Miles of Graceland, I think. Yeah.
Like right before. Yeah. He looked primed and ready. Basically, the plot is him and his wife are moving cross country in his brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Massive product placement, all movie. Like every time someone mentions it, like, oh, nice 1997 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And I'm like, oh my God.
That was a great fucking car, too.
It was, but like...
He's like, you can get it with 0 down. I'm like, yeah,
like,
I know.
Right now?
Trust me.
But what if I have bad credit? I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Anyway, the plot, this is all I'll say because I don't want to like spoil the setup, because it's a really interesting premise. So Kurt Russell's car, he has a little run-in at a gas station with some trucker guys. Like, they talk some shit to him. He's kind of a little bitch back. About a mile and a half down the road, his car breaks down, and they flag down like a separate truck driver, not any of the ones they ran into at the gas station. And he's like, yeah, there's a payphone like 2 miles up the road at some diner. We can go up there. This is again 97. It's not the cell phone generation. But Kurt Russell sees the truckers they got in a fight with. They're like parked like half a mile up the road. If I leave. So he tells his wife, hey, why don't you go with this trucker, call the tow truck, and then you'll come back. His wife leaves with the trucker. Obviously, his wife does not come back. And I don't want to spoil anything else because it gets pretty interesting, but he starts to fucking investigate, and there's some twists and turns. It's a fun movie. It's an hour 26, 27. I think it'd be a good one for you and the wife, because she'd be like, would you do that for me? Would you do that for me?
I miss the 90s when a good movie was an hour 20.
Yeah. It's fun, though. It's called Breakdown. And, just the premise I gave you alone, when I heard it, I was like, all right, I'm kind of fucking sold. Yeah, that's interesting. What happens? All right, last thing before Extraction. Banner, I'm pretty much just talking to you here, because once I say the title, Geiger's going to say, done, like Peter Griffin. But I saw The Predator, the 2018 version of it. This is part of that.
Fun.
It's part of that DVR purge I'm going through. Is it fun? I gotta say one thing that Geiger's gonna fucking lose his shit at. So Geiger, here's how poorly cast this movie is. So if I said we need comedic relief, someone to play. First off, the comedic relief character is a soldier with PTSD who has Tourette's. Oh, that's real fucking funny. To make it even worse, who's the funniest fucking actor in Hollywood? Don't worry, Thomas Jane's.
Who?
Thomas Jane, the Punisher.
The Punisher?
Is the comedic fucking relief in this movie. Playing a soldier with
Wasn't
PTSD.
even funny in the comedy movie with him, Cameron Diaz, and the chick from Anchorman.
I don't remember what that is. I don't know what that is. But
Really? You never seen that movie?
Thomas Jane and Cameron Diaz are in a movie together?
Yeah, it was it was like a rom-com, and the chick from Anchorman, Christine Applegate.
No idea what this is. Anyway, Thomas Jane, when I think of like least funny person in Hollywood, he comes up. Last thing I'll have to say, Banner, and this is, I'm trying not to make this just Iron Man 3 bias, but I think Shane Black as a director who did this movie, I don't get it, dude. I think he sucks. I think Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is pretty overrated. The Nice Guys is good with Gosling and Russell Crowe, but Iron Man 3 and this are a wet fart. And all of his movies just feel like he's so into like the idea that he's making a meta movie. Like, I get he's in this because he was in the original 1987 The Predator, but I don't get it. There's this huge Shane Black cult that, what am I missing? And maybe you're not a defender of his, but like, I don't get it.
I think he is. I think he has potential, but he needs good people around him. And when he doesn't have good people around them, he gets exposed. And I think he got exposed in this movie. It's fine.
Jeff,
I mean,
Jeff,
look,
Cameron Diaz, Christina Applegate, Selma Blair, Thomas Jane, Jason Bateman, Parker Posey in The Sweetest Thing, 2002 romantic comedy. No?
Never heard of it.
I never heard of it. I'll check it out though.
It's not that
Sounds
bad.
awesome.
The Mist was 2004. That's when he went like fucking nuts. So
Yeah.
it was before. All right. Thomas Jane, remember, Matt, I think I told you this story. I had somebody who worked with him and they said he just lives his life barefoot. Like he does not fucking wear socks or shoes.
Well, that's fine.
And Matt's his agent. He's like, look, he's not putting on fucking socks. So
Greatest role he's ever played, he was a great Mickey Mantle in 61.
That's true.
A fantastic Mickey Mantle.
But you watch him in this, and it's just like it's sad, dude. It's like, I mean, this was like magic when he came back after getting AIDS. It was like, you're not, just go home.
Jesus.
All right, Banner. That's all I'll say about the Shane Black shitting on. Matt, why don't you start the extraction conversation?
What about what I watched?
Oh, I thought you already went.
No.
He hasn't won.
Don't get so upset. All right.
Very upset.
Relax. You go. You have the floor. I'm sorry, Banner.
It's okay. You're forgiven.
Right, you forgave me too easily. Fuck you. You're soft.
All right.
Hold a grudge.
Fine. You know what? My Star Wars team is coming after your Star Wars team, and we're gonna win. How about that? How soft is that, bitch?
Last time I heard that, Matt Hasselbeck said it. How did that work out? We want the ball and we're gonna score.
It's fine. Guys, I watched the 1991 classic Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon. Guys, it's underrated, and it's
who underrates it? It's fucking incredible.
Underrated.
That's what I'm saying. I never thought this was the best, we'll say, fairy tale movie or Disney princess movie. It is.
Someone's like, Tiger Woods is underrated. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I was watching The Last Dance, man. Jordan's fucking underrated, man. Like what?
I think that is a big compliment when you're already the best and you're still underrated.
Banner, for me, and we should do this list sometime, top 3 Disney movie.
Yeah.
Probably third, but it's top 3.
Yeah.
No? Lower than that, Geiger?
Is Toy Story a Disney movie?
Yeah, I'll count it.
Yeah, it's like with an asterisk.
Lion King, Aladdin, Toy Story.
I'd put Beauty and the Beast right over Toy Story, I think.
Whoa.
It's definitely. I think it's the best.
Matt's like, I'm about to break this beer bottle and hold it to your throat.
I think it's the best Disney princess movie. And I do put that above Aladdin because Aladdin is not about the princess. This movie is actually about the Disney princess. I don't know, just the music in it, the idea of it, all the ancillary. I mean, Lumiere and Cogsworth are fucking hilarious.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour.
And
Bonjour,
Vader, the
bonjour,
score,
bonjour.
the dun 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 dun, like in the beginning. Oh my god, when rose petals falling off, I'm already fucking crying.
It's great. Gaston, piece of shit, Broforce Squad Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We've been talking about he's got to get in. I mean, he's Matt Geiger in the Disney universe.
He's not a first year ballot.
Basically the T.O. He's done some shit we don't like, but he'll have his time.
Very underrated. Watched that and was pleasantly surprised. Then again, guys, I have to preface all this. I have a 2-year-old. I get sucked into watching these movies. Watch the 1953 classic Peter Pan.
That's from 53.
53.
Cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We should do a commentary on that. We've already done Jungle Book. It'd be a great
That's a fantastic movie.
It is great.
Is there music in that?
A little bit. Great score. Very good sound editing, I would say, but there's no real
53?
bangers.
Jeff, what was the Jungle Book? 62?
Yeah, I thought Jungle Book was like mid-60s.
It was.
So Banner, how's the animation and the coloring look in that?
It looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no better, no worse than Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast.
That's insane.
That's
impressive.
It is very, very well done. Again, the score is, dare I say, it's a top 5, maybe top 3 Disney score.
Banner, the scene where they're flying over Big Ben in London to go to Neverland is
absolutely
fucking awesome. And it
even just the scene with them flying in front of the moon and you just see their silhouettes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one everyone knows. Yeah.
Yeah. And then landing on Big Ben and making the clock tower ting. It reminds us of our childhood and what it's like to have a real imagination.
So Banner, for those at home with little ones also, without singing music, how was Baby Banner? Was she into it, or was she kind of like you were into it?
She was locked in. There's enough bright colors, and she's getting to the age where, I mean, she's 2, where she can start
going on 7.
Right, 17, which is just absolutely absurd. She's getting to the point where she can start to follow minor storylines, and she was locked into this, man.
I don't remember. I remember what Captain Hook looks like.
Yep.
But oh my god, I'm embarrassed to say.
There's the Indians in this. There's Lost Boys.
Mermaids.
It's a great fucking movie. Banner, I'm gonna get drunk tomorrow, grill a steak, and watch that. Actually,
do it.
Thank you.
And then
I totally forgot about that.
Last thing I'll say is, for future Broforce Squad interns out there, I just need you to strive to be like Shmi. When I'm down, I need you to bring me up. When I'm up, I need you to bring me back down, and I always have a beer ready for me.
That's on the application.
Well, and the gun to Captain Hook's head has been used for a meme in the Broforce Squad Twitter and will be used for years to come.
That might be.
Dare try to stop me.
We should just put that scene. Stop me, Shmi. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. There's a gun to my head. What are you doing?
I mean, are you a sick fuck? I'm this close. Can we put a scene in the Broforce Squad Hall of Fame? How does that work?
That's definitely. I've
figure
used that
it out.
meme at least 3 times this year.
Where you go from don't you dare try to stop me to what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'll send it to my wife all the time. Whenever she'll be like, I'm not sure what I want to eat, I'll just have the Captain Hook meme with him with a gun to his head.
It's loaded, Shmi, just so you know. Anything else, Banner?
Yes. So, guys, we all know that I unfortunately have gotten sucked into this season of The Bachelor. Listen to your heart. I'm there. Kris Harrison.
I thought you gave this up. So
no, guys, this is the third episode in. It's turning into a singing competition now. Yeah. So I kind of want to be be out on it, but at the same time, they still have the romantic, quote unquote, side of it. Just a quick couple of notes for people at home. Jamie, batshit fucking crazy, and she's also only 21. That just blew my fucking mind. Why are you going on a dating show when you're 21 years old?
21-year-olds have given up on meeting someone naturally. Like, dude, you're not 43. Like, I don't understand. There's no chance for me. Where am I supposed to meet them? At a bar, a restaurant, a social hangout through a mutual friend? I mean, we just named all of those ways.
And the next person I want to talk about is Julia. This chick is absolutely fucking nuts. So the whole premise of the show is they go in, they start to meet these people, and then they have to pick somebody to sing with. She is absolutely infatuated with this other guy. Granted, he may lead her on a little bit, but he ends up picking another girl, and she's only staying there with Sheridan because she wants to try and get with Brandon. And she is batshit fucking crazy. You know when you can just look at somebody, you see it in their eyes?
Yes.
You can see it in her fucking eyes.
Everything can she sing, though?
To be honest with you, I went and took a shit during the performances, so I don't know. The singing part doesn't interest me. The drama is what interests me.
So what does the singer, like, what do the winners get? Normally it's just you get
They are obviously they get to be together, but they're going to go on tour together, which that is going to work out really well in the current climate of the world. So that kind of sucks, but that's the payoff is they get to go on tour together.
Well, I can't wait to watch that blow up.
Yeah,
I'd actually be more
awesome.
I think Geiger and I would both be more interested in the tour than we would be like. I want to see them argue backstage, and you fucking missed the G sharp, asshole. And
I want to see the long bus rides from arena to arena that they're gonna have to do.
When the guy has all the groupies with him, who the fuck is she? Her name's Cheyenne. She likes our music. What's wrong with that?
It's no one, babe. I'm just gonna show her the back.
She didn't have a napkin.
It's scary to me how quickly you were able to produce that good of an excuse. I'm not supposed to write on. We're not animals.
Like I've used it before.
No, that's impossible,
though. All right, that's all I had other than Extraction.
All right, Banner, I genuinely am sorry. I thought during my marathon piss.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, Extraction, Geiger, lead us into it. You're not, though.
So I was the first of the bros to see this. There was a debate on who first saw the trailer. I digress. I texted the bros that this is John Wick, pretty much. These fight scenes, I don't know how accurate they are. I didn't count if a gun only held 8 bullets, if he fucking reloaded or anything like that. But these fight scenes are fucking intense, man. I think John Wick has a little better story. The first one anyway. This story gets pretty quick, and it's almost maybe Expendables-ish, where like, hey man, do you get it? Because we're about to fucking get some high-octane shit. But man, this whole fucking movie was an adrenaline rush. This isn't a movie you smoke weed to and just kind of lay back your recliner. This is where you take fucking bong rips and shots of whiskey and just fucking watch this and just get amped. This is a movie that makes you want to work out at the end. There are so many... I wouldn't even know how to pick the best scene, Jeff. There's so many fight scenes. If it's a fight scene, it's a best scene. And Hemsworth does such a great job. I would even say his Thor performance is funny, but it's not this. There's some parts of Thor where he kicks ass, but this is another side.
He's got a hammer and lightning, and it's
I've never seen Hemsworth like this. He's a fucking badass in this fucking movie. He's like Stallone in like Rambo First Blood in this fucking movie. And I would say this was one of his best acting performances I've fucking ever seen out of him. It was fucking fantastic. And it's a movie we need right now, for sure. There's no theaters open. There's nothing to see. And this is the only movie out right now.
Because you can't fake the action. Like, he actually has to sweep the leg on that guy and fucking flip that guy. And you can't do that unless you're 6'4", 265 and have like 4% body fat like he does.
So
I know you guys. Go ahead, Banner.
I was just gonna say, I remember a year and a half ago or so, I follow Hemsworth on Instagram, and he was posting all these things, and he was just covered in dirt and wearing this costume. I didn't know what movie it was for, but obviously he was training every morning, and he was like showing these incredibly crazy sets and these moves that he was having to do. And now I got to see that on screen, and I got to say, a lot of that I think was actually him doing these things.
I've never said this about an actor, but he's an athlete. Like, you got to be athletic to do this shit. And Jeff, I'll let you touch this on who directed this, but this stunt work, this fucking directing style was fucking nuts. I mean, I haven't seen this. I know John Wick is comparable to this, but I haven't seen this directing style. This is kind of a new directing style in the stunt work. Something I'd like to see more of for sure.
The way that this was shot, it was almost like at times it was like a first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. I mean, the car chase scene, I think, really amplifies that, how the camera goes from out of the car to in the car like you're riding, and you're looking out the windows at different times, and the camera's swiveling, and then you get back out of the car, and you're almost ducking behind cars to not get shot. The way that it was shot was so intense. You are literally part of the movie.
I don't know how they did that.
I have no idea how they did it.
It's obviously a handheld camera, but
it all looks like it's one shot, and the action and the explosions that are going around you, there's no way it can be, right?
Think about coordinating, like, this is, and I've never been on a set, but I can just tell, like, think about how many things you have to line up when Hemsworth is driving the car. Every fucking thing happening in the periphery is coordinated. And Matt, to your point real quick, and I'll throw it back to you, Banner. So Sam Hargrave directed this movie, his directorial debut. Joe Russo, who did Civil War, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and Endgame, wrote the script. He directed them, but he just wrote the script for this. So Hargrave was Chris Evans' stunt double for, I think, everything since The Winter Soldier for Captain America. And about John Wick, Chad Stahelski, who directed the first one, was Keanu's stunt double in all the Matrix movies. So if this tells me anything, great stuntmen make incredible action directors. Like, they know how to shoot this shit to where it looks fucking insane. Like, this movie, my jaw was like dropped watching these action scenes.
What did you think when I texted you guys, this is John Wick? What did you think? Did you think I was just drunk and just... I haven't seen anything new for 6 months, for fucking 2 months since lockdown. Or what did you think?
This is what I think. This is Diet Dr. Pepper John Wick. It's not quite Dr. Pepper, but it's pretty fucking good still.
I was thinking, because Geiger knows what I loved about John Wick was the action style where he would grab someone's hand while they had a gun and shoot them with it. And the first time Hemsworth did that, I'm not exaggerating. You know my little man cave room. I stood up out of my seat and was like fucking bouncing up and down. I was like, kill more of them! I don't know. It just gets you fucking going, dude. And I think, to both of your points, when you can tell that an actor like Hemsworth, like, he's like, keep the camera on me. I can do all these fucking stunts. Yeah. You, number one, appreciate it, right? Because we're not, like, cutting away anytime something cool happens. And number two, like, there is a scene, and I know I like went back again and could pick up a cut, but it's still impressive. There's a 12-minute scene. It's the scene, without spoilers, where Banner, he's fighting like kind of through that apartment building up on those really skinny walkways.
Yes.
That's all Hemsworth, dude.
It's so good. The tight frame of those shots make it so much more intense. You're literally part of the action.
And let's give credit to the cinematographer, dude. That guy has a camera that probably weighs fucking 20 pounds, and he's running upstairs, like, he's fucking with Chris Hemsworth that whole time. Like, that guy, we'll never talk about them on this podcast because we don't know anything about film. We haven't taken a class, but, like, that must have been fucking insane to film. And stay out of the action, too.
So, I'm going to just say my last couple thoughts here. The story... super simple. You really don't even need all of it. I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah. Literally, all you need to know is Hemsworth is going to go rescue this kid that was kidnapped. That's all you need to know, and it's the story about how he gets him out. Jeff, I know you love movies that are like this. It happens in like maybe 36-hour time period. It all
I think
happens.
exactly 36 hours.
Yeah, it's very, very compact, and that you have to read between the lines a little bit if you want to get more out of the story, but you don't need to. It's just right there. It's, hey, I'm gonna go in, get this kid, get out, and that's what the story is. Next thing is we always talk about impacts. It's one of our categories. Netflix has now set a bar for themselves. They have to drop an awesome action movie every year now. Yeah. They did Triple Frontier last year. They put this out this year. This is starting to be
The Highwayman was a good movie, I thought.
It's up for debate on the pod. I personally haven't seen it, but I've been a part of the, we'll say, heated discussions about it. But they are now, I mean, I think they're starting to carve into a niche of, well, we're going to do badass, awesome action movies. And I mean, they're doing a lot better at that than they are some of the Netflix trash that they're putting out. And they're getting big names to do it.
Agreed. Last thing I'll say to that is I think the fact that Joe Russo and Chris Hemsworth are attached to a movie that even before all of the quarantine stuff happened was set to go straight to Netflix. I think it speaks volumes to like sending, and Matt always talks about like how TV used to be like where you started your career. Now it's like where a lot of these guys, like it's where the money is. Streaming services now, there's not even any shame. But it's a big fucking deal to get a movie on Netflix. The Irishman was there. Like, who gives a fuck where it is? Make a good movie. We'll find it, you know?
Last thing I'll say about it, Jeff, is that, you know, we know that Hollywood is an old boys club and stuff, and you got to be in the Inn, you got to be in Universal. So do you think this fucking stuntman would have got a chance to fucking direct a movie if we didn't have these online streaming services? There's no fucking way. We're finding... new diamonds in the rough, new stars, not only in directing, but in acting and all this shit. Like we talked about Ozarks and like all these new stars that are on the horizon that you will probably see in like Star Wars movies or new Marvel movies and DC movies coming up, but they would have never got an opportunity to shine, you know, under the Universal cloud or the Disney cloud. But Netflix is giving them the opportunity like, all right, man, here's your fucking movie. Yeah, get your boy Thor that you know from, you know, basically being a stuntman for Captain America. Let's see what you got. And people are opening their eyes, be like, dude, I've never fucking seen this before. Fuck yeah, I'd pay $15 to go see this on a Friday night on opening weekend.
That's a great point, Matt. It's all about relationships. We know, we worked in sales for a long time, and this guy would not have had the chance to do this. And of course, you need, if he's like, all right, I have a cool movie idea. I think I can film the shit out of this, but if I don't have a face in front of the camera that people know and respect, it's not going to matter.
You can't put on a fucking trailer, Jeff, the stunt man from Captain America in his directorial debut. I mean, you got to have like Scorsese or somebody like that. But so Netflix, no one cares.
Props to Hemsworth, though, for doing this because, like, I mean, I'm sure that the paycheck he got for this movie paled in comparison to, like, Men in Black International or any of the Marvel movies. Industry that he was like, you have talent. I know this movie's going to be good. Let's fucking do it. And to Banner's point, it was not easy work. Like the shit I saw on set, Hemsworth was talking about like one of their fight scenes he had to memorize like 1,012 consecutive moves for that knife fight that he had.
Shape for this too. Like he always is, but he was in phenomenal shape for this.
Yeah, I think this is the best shape he was ever in.
Body fat percentage, yeah, he got like. If you watch for Avengers Endgame, the fat suit, when they would put it on him, I was disgusted at how low his body fat percentage was as they would slip it on. I was like, dude, fuck you, really. All right, anything you guys want to add before we move on to the last part of the show?
You guys got to watch it. I'm going to watch it again.
Same.
One, just based on what you said, Jeff, 1,000 moves he has to remember. You can't tell that he memorized all those. Everything looks so natural and raw and authentic, and I think that speaks volumes to the directing of hey, this is how you're going to do this is how you need to do this. I know what I'm doing here, and Hemsworth buying into that. Okay, let's go for it. Jump both feet in.
Yeah, and you could tell when he basically the whole way this movie was made, Hemsworth was 100% into it. Like You can't do this movie if your lead actor is not willing to hurt himself. And fuck, dude. I mean, you can't fake half the action shit he did. Like, he really threw a guy over a rail. I know we didn't.
We're just gonna think that Natalie Portman has not rubbed off on him because he didn't. He won't mail it in.
God, she nails in like 40% for performances. I'm sickened by her. All right, last part of the show.
Bruh.
What's that?
Bruh. You lift, bruh?
And that is our question answer segment. Do you even lift, brah? And today we are starting a bit of a new segment here. We'll probably do this every 2 to 3-ish episodes whenever we get the brain trust of the three bros on. We are going to start a BFS, that stands for Bro Force Squad, if you're scoring at home, Trivia Showdown, where each of us will bring 2 trivia questions to ask the other 2 bros. So we'll each get to answer to each week or episode we do this. Every question, one of the bros answers correct. They get a point. The first bro to get 25 points gets to choose a movie for the other 2 bros to review and or do a commentary on. So we'll keep a running total. This is the first week we have ever done this, so there is no score right now. So each of us have 2 trivia questions prepared. We will ask one of the other bros a question. If they get it right, they get a point. If they get it wrong, they can go fuck themselves, basically. Banner, I'm going to let you go first. What are your 2 trivia questions? Ask each of us our trivia question. If we get it right, we get a point.
All right, I'm gonna go Geiger first here.
Do you have a category for these questions or a theme?
No, not really.
Okay.
One for yours, Matt. They're pretty self-explanatory. This actress connects these 2 actors together, so she's in something with these 2 people.
Okay.
The people is John Travolta and Sam Elliott. Connect them together.
So does he have to name the actress or the movie?
Actress, I'll give you bonus imaginary points if you name the movie.
John Travolta and Sam Elliott?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm thinking of Sam Elliott movies, so it's not Roadhouse.
It's not necessarily a movie. It's just an actress that's going to connect.
Jesus Christ, what?
What? Okay.
This is so hard.
He's in that ranch TV show. The girl next door is in that, but I don't know if she's in anything with Travolta. He's in.
I'm just going to say you're a lot closer than I thought you were going to get already.
Is it the chick from The Girl Next Door?
No.
It's not Alicia Cuthbert?
Nope. It's not.
It's not from Tombstone. It's not from Roadhouse. I don't know what else Sam. He's in Prancer, but I don't think you have ever seen that movie.
Please, I have seen Prancer. Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. It's a Christmas Miracle.
Dude, I have no clue.
Banner, this is a rough first question. I don't even know what he's guessing.
This is hard. And Jeff, I don't think yours is going to be any easier.
I'm sure it won't. So do you have a final answer?
It's old Travolta, new Sam Elliott. I'll say that. Older Travolta. Like, Travolta did this back in the day. And Sam Elliott's stuff is more recent.
Was it the chick from Grease?
No. It's not. Deborah Winger in Urban Cowboy with Travolta and The Ranch with Sam Elliott.
I watched Urban Cowboy and I didn't even know the actress's name. I literally watched Urban Cowboy last week.
I could bump into Deborah Winger at the grocery store right now and I wouldn't know who she was.
Well,
maybe I'm the problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I knew that was going to be really hard, and I apologize. I didn't. It's tough. It's first week. This is spring training. You know, I didn't know what to do.
I should have known we were fucked when Banner shows up to the pod with a softball jersey on. He's ready to.
I'm ready to go.
Fucking heat.
All right, Jeff. Your question. This person was helped by Ewan McGregor when they made their Hollywood debut in the film Big Fish.
Was helped? Is that correct? Helped? I couldn't hear the word.
Yeah, helped, as in they were in the same movie together. Big Fish. So this person's first film was Big Fish.
They're who's the fucking girl in Big Fish? I mean, this is like Tim Burton's last good movie. I don't know the young actress's name. This is completely wrong, but just to say I have a guess. Rosie Huntington-Whiteley.
Close. Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus is in Big Fish?
She plays the girl as an 8-year-old in like one of the flashback scenes.
You're kind of missing the point of this.
I definitely missed the point of this. But you know what? Ruthless. I won because neither one of you guys got my question right.
I mean, if you want to win like that, then go ahead. But the people at home listening will know. Oh,
I'm fine being the villain.
All right. Okay, Geiger, turn it over to you. What are your questions?
All right, I'm going to go Jeff first. So I know you're going to ask this question about Space Jam, so hopefully this isn't yours. But can you name the starting 5 for the Monstars that they stole their powers?
That's a great question. In no particular order. Is that okay? Yeah. Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah.
LJ.
Yep.
Sean Bradley.
Sadly.
He might come up in my question. Ewing and Barkley.
Yes.
There you go.
And Banner, I'm going to give you easy questions since you gave me so easy ones. In the original A Star is Born, starred Barbra Streisand and Kris Kristofferson. Kris Kristofferson was the second person they had. They had an original person that they wanted, and he is a singer. He is very popular, and he was in a ton of movies and one of the greatest singers ever. Who is this person?
Is it Elvis?
It is.
Fuck!
His agent told him, I don't think this is a good role for you. And it was sad because actually Elvis could act, and it would have been actually really fun to actually see him act in a serious movie where he sung as well.
All right. So my category is Space Jam for these two. Geiger, I'm going to give you
our movie commentary.
You should. It's a blast. Especially now with the Last Dance album. It makes a lot of sense to listen to it. Geiger, I'm going to give you what I perceive to be the slightly easier question since Banner decided to give me like Trivial Pursuit Genius Edition level.
Look, if the kitchen's too hot, stay out of there.
I will. I'll just wait for the meal to come out. All right, Geiger, Space Jam related. What color is the Monstar who makes the horrible decision to steal Sean Bradley's quote-unquote talent?
It's kind of like light blue, like neon blue.
Correct. Blue is the correct answer. So
I thought you were like, what killed Michael Jordan's dad? I'm like, oh, his gambling debt. Correct.
That's right.
Banner, 1,000 points.
Banner, you got Geiger's question right too, right? So everybody has 1 point. All right, Banner, your question. What phrase does the Toon Squad yell when they start to clean their shitty practice gym?
I'm super fucking drunk right now.
Can I steal this?
I wish you could. I'm sorry. Maybe we can change the
Do half point steals?
I know the answer.
We'll do half point steals. You want to do half point steals?
Geiger, take the half point.
Spit shine.
Spit shine! Spit shine! It is spit shine.
That's right.
Because I remember Sylvester literally just starts saying the letter S. He's like, it's just wetting the floor. And then Taz, remember, he spins around, cleans it all up.
Yep.
Fresh. That's what he says.
All right, so after day 1 of the trivia contest, Horns 1 point, Banner 1 point, Geiger 1.5 points. The half point steals could factor in big because it's going to be close. We all know that.
Especially if Banner keeps coming up with, if that was his easy questions.
Even Alex Trebek is like, Jesus.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, get better.
All right, before we leave the people for episode 112, Geiger, any last thoughts?
No, man. Watch Ozarks. Good show. Watch Out of the Shadows. Watch The Patriot.
The Patriot?
Yeah, I talked about that. You were taking a piss, I think.
Bad. I took a lot of long pisses. I'm sorry. Banner. Besides anything but usual.
No, just the usual. Just pull over for emergency vehicles again. With everything opening back up, guys, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, just if you hear sirens, just get off to the fucking side of the road.
Please.
Dude. I'm not asking too much. Is that asking too much? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
All right. For Enforcing the Paint, Matt Geiger, the mad scientist Brian Banner. I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Guys, thank you so much for bearing with us through episode 112. We love you all. Follow us on Twitter at Broforce Squad. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, and even Letterboxd. If you just type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words, you'll find us on all those platforms. Check out all of our content on our website, broforcesquad.com. Till then, we will see you, not out at the movies, but probably online on like a Netflix streaming party or something like that.
Guys, those are really hard questions. I'm sorry. I didn't even know the answer to either one of those.
How is that a thing? Hey, you learned it. You're right. You said it was spring training. It was week 1.